Hey everybody, welcome to the Thursday Commute with Coach Tiauna. I am on my way to the office, and I've set myself up so that I can talk on my way to the office because I do my best thinking in the car. So today's Thursday, and the thought that I wanted to share with you today is, what makes you think you can help someone else? What makes you think that you're able to help someone else? What makes you think that people should listen to you? I don't get that question a lot, but it's a question that I gave myself a lot before I got started, before I started doing the things that I'm doing now. You know, I would be in my own head saying, why should people listen to you? What do you have special to share with anybody? Why don't you just mind your own business? Which I do mind my own business still. But one of the things I thought about was that how long I let that thought hold me back. How long I let it hold me back. Because one thing that I've discovered is that usually the thing you discount about yourself, about your experience, about your background, is the same thing that actually qualifies you to help someone else. So for me, the reason why I have the nerve to want to help people is because I know what it's like to overcome obstacles to get to where you want to be, even when it doesn't look like it's gonna happen for you. And I'm gonna give you an example just so you can know. In 2010, I moved with my, at that time, 2 children and my ex-husband now, but husband at the time, into a family member's house because we could not keep our own home. We essentially were not able to make things work. So at that time, I was working 60 hours a week. I was commuting 1 hour one way to work, working in public accounting. And I was also trying to study for the CPA exam. And I remember studying night after night after night, sometimes falling asleep in my book in a cold concrete Michigan basement on a card table, for those of you who know what those folding card tables look like, and those hard metal folding chairs. And I sat there after getting the kids to bed, studying until I couldn't. Now, at that time, I thought it was impossible for me to do what I was doing. I mean, here I was effectively without a home, living in someone else's home, working incredible amount of hours a week, and studying for an exam that is one of the most difficult exams to take. And some days I would sit there and I would be so tired that I couldn't even remember what I just read. So it seemed kind of hopeless. I still did it anyway. I still kept going night after night down to the basement, reading, doing practice questions and the like. And I didn't even believe it was possible. But I knew if I didn't do it, that I was never going to get to where I wanted to be. So I had to talk myself into doing something that effectively was a challenge, beyond a challenge for me. And I didn't pass the CPA exam all 4 parts the first time I took them. I failed one section twice. I failed another one once and took it over. And sometimes I would go to the testing center knowing that I wasn't ready, but I would just say, listen, you're not going to back out. You don't know unless you try. You don't really know unless you try. Maybe you'll learn something by failing that will help you pass it the next time. In the middle of me studying for the CPA exam, the requirements changed. So I had to get a new book, had to start over from the beginning, and study again to take the last section of the exam. And that was 5 certifications ago. 5 certifications ago. Where I'm at today definitely had a lot to do with that experience, because it wasn't until recently that I brought myself to terms with the word homeless, because that's what I was. Homeless. Elected to be homeless because I was not evicted, but I couldn't keep paying to stay where I was staying. And the other term that I couldn't come to terms with was abuse, but the relationship I was in was an abusive one. So somebody with no money, no home, in an abusive relationship, living with other people, with 2 children that relied on me at that time. How does that person go from where they were to where I'm at now? And it's the reason why I reach out to people and help people, because somebody, whether it was through a book or a video or me seeking mentors, somebody spoken to me. And when I didn't have somebody speaking to me, I spoken to me. So that's why I have the nerve to try to help other people get to where they want to be in life, because I've done it. I'm still doing it. I still am working on my goals and objectives. I haven't given up anything yet. I'm more bold than I've ever been. So I just want to encourage you, anybody out there that has a message to share with other people, or some information or an experience that you don't think is valuable, that you don't want to talk about, that you can't bring yourself to terms with, you can't call it what it is yet, get to the point where you can talk about it, because those are the things that qualify you to do what you're doing. I've overcome the odds. You know, I had someone the other day say to me, said, wow, I didn't realize your background and some of the things that you've gone through in life. You shouldn't be here. But I am. And I want other people to experience what that feels like, because there is another side. If you get through the struggle, there is another side. And where you're at now does not have to be where you are a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now. In my case, 9 years later. So don't discount yourself. That's Thursday's thought. I gotta go into the office. Bye.